It's nice to meet you. Introducing myself is Aya Abdi for Echoes from the Buttes. So when it comes to joining Arizona State athletics program, which they brought in notable coaches like Kenny Dillingham for football, Molly Miller as women's basketball, and Jamia Jackson as women's tennis, and now adding in yourself to the mix for men's basketball as well, especially after having that past successful 5 years at St. Mary's. I'm just curious to know, what were your first impressions of Graham Rossini as athletic director, and why you chose to join the program as well?
Yeah, two things jump right to the front of my mind on Graham. Is the guy's remarkably gifted as a speaker. I think he's got an incredible memory. He'll remember every event, every person's name, and then the way he leads his athletic program is very team oriented, and it's the same way he wants his sports teams. So I think he's pretty true to his philosophy on that, and actually I think that's why he was looked my way as far as this job.
You were thrown a pretty big curveball after you got this job. Did
The
you,
pump fake?
the pump fake. Did you consider, like, could you go on? Did you consider retirement at all?
No, not at all. Not at all. They caught it early. Actually, it was a blessing they caught it. So I feel a lot better. I was a little weak for just in the hospital for 10 days. So you get weak, and so there's a little comeback and a little confidence and what you can do. But I knew we were good.
How hard was that, just to be sidelined like that when you wanted to get this program?
Hard. So it was because you just got this job. You want to get going. You want to start building, and you feel like sense of urgency. You need to be in the office, but it just wasn't going to happen. So it's tough.
Coach, what are the biggest differences you've seen since when you were seeing ASU growing up and now being back here?
Probably the campus. Like, we knocked out all those dorms and put in a great little food restaurant places and the hotels. None of that was there. So Dr. Crow's done a fantastic job. I meant that when I said it up there, and he must have a good mind for all that stuff. But I mean, ASU is such a huge part of the Phoenix metropolitan area, but it's also still a college campus. Like it has the feeling of a college campus, yet it's just massive. It's powerful.
What does the size of that brand do for your recruiting? Just knowing it's such an internationally known school.
So far, it feels good. Like, I can feel it already. I felt it right away. I didn't really know that I was going to feel that when I got here. I just knew, I thought this place had potential, and I've always felt that way. But you could get in the door pretty quick here, and I'm not used to that. So where I was at wasn't that. It was a small school, different deal, not part of the Power Four, all that. And I have no regrets. I loved where I was at. I loved the St. Mary's whole deal. But this place is different. This place has some juice.
Coach, to piggyback off the recruiting, I just asked Graham, I mean, obviously all your years at St. Mary's, and then Tommy Lloyd working under Mark Few. I know recruiting internationally was always big for you and big for them. What part of the maybe conversation was extra about, maybe knowing, not that you're always going to recruit the same players, but just kind of going and recruiting against Tommy Lloyd, now still obviously in-state and in the Big 12, but just knowing him and like what, he likes to recruit. How big was that when you're talking to Graham?
When I talked to Graham, it wasn't discussed. And I know Tommy, he's up at Gonzaga about 20 years, so he's done a phenomenal job at Arizona, and will continue to do so. And so it's kind of like when we jumped in the lake with Gonzaga. when I was at St. Mary's, they're not coming down. You got to go up. And people, when they make the mistake of, hey, they're losing this guy and this guy, they'll be down. They're not down. And that's where we need to get to. Is the program's big enough, stable enough, built enough that you just keep bringing in new guys and keep getting them right, and keep coaching them up.
Coach, you've been around the game of basketball your whole life. In what ways has the game enriched your life beyond just wins and losses?
That's a great question. A couple that jump out at me. All the people you meet, you're around, you have special relationships with, because you're coaching. There's not the only ones. There's other coaches. There's your assistant coaches, and those are lifelong friendships. But with your players, they're lifelong friendships, and you get a chance to. And I've seen this now. I've done it long enough. Is you get to see them grow into young men, dads, eventually coaches or whatever they do, and you see them have success, and you feel like you were part of it.
Coach, you guys are still in the process of finalizing your schedule for the season. How's that been going so far, and what are the things you're looking for in terms of potential opponents or tournaments to play in?
Not far enough along to really answer that. I would say that get 14 non-conference games. Obviously, the 18 conference games are set. They haven't told us who or where or when, but you're going to play 18 league. And there's 14 non-conference. I would say we have 8 of them done. So, and yeah, I know we're playing Oklahoma and Tulsa. That'll be a tough game. We're in the Palm Springs tournament, 2 games, and we don't know who we're playing yet, but we'll be in that. UCLA is on the schedule. We're at Oregon State. So we need to have a good schedule, always. I think it's a huge part. I think it goes coaching, recruiting, scheduling. It's a huge part. You can schedule yourself right out of the tournament, especially in the Big 12. You're going to get plenty of good games in the Big 12. So we have to be pretty strategic and smart on filling out the rest of the schedule.
Coach Mickey McConnell, another Arizona guy, took over for you at St. Mary's. What has that family meant to you, and what do you think Mickey can do at St. Mary's?
Mickey will do a great job. He's well prepared. He's seen it. He's been a huge part of what we've been doing. He's a great player there. I think we left the program where it's in good shape on NIL and support. They want to be good there, so he's gonna be good. He'll be fine. And then I've known his dad way before Mickey was born. So his dad was an assistant at Westwood, JV coach, and so I've known him a long time. And the McConnell family, the grandpa, Mickey's 3rd generation as a coach. His grandpa's a legend, his dad's a legend over here. So they're friends. It meant a lot.
Coach, you talked a little bit about the changing landscape of college athletics. In your early conversations with Graham and President Crow, what type of commitment were you looking for from the athletic department to providing you with resources to build a coaching staff, build a roster?
Yeah, great question, because it was an important one. And I talked to both them. Obviously, Graham, met with Graham, talked to him a number of times. And then Dr. Crow, I talked to him one time on the phone before I came over here, took the job. And so there was no, it's a good question. I just had to feel it from them that they got it. They understood that you have to have some money. Like if you want to, the best way to do it is if you can retain players. And that's the way we'll do it. but you have to have money for that. And if you go in the portal all the time, I don't know if it's twice as much, but it's probably a time and a half. Like portal, they have agents, and they're in the portal for a reason, and it's usually to get money. And so I just needed to know that they understood. And I think with Graham, my deal was, I don't know what I'm getting into. Like, I haven't been to ASU. I don't know how it works. I don't know where all the players are, at mentally. And so our deal, handshake, was, I'm going to need your help. So you just got to, I don't know what it is yet, but I'm going to need your help. And he is like,
Coach.
I'm going to help.
And you said,
Sorry. So a few weeks ago, before the introductory presser was delayed, you met Molly Miller, the head coach of the Arizona State women's basketball program. I'm just curious to know your first impressions of meeting Molly Miller in person.
So I knew about Molly. A good friend of mine coaches women's basketball, and he's friends with her, and Mark Campbell from TCU. And so I knew she was, I knew her Division II thing, the whole thing. So I knew she was kind of elite, up and comer, and had she was a Grand Canyon. I knew all that stuff back then. And so then when I met her, I was most impressed with her energy. She's got great energy. And she was one of them that, here that made me feel really welcome right off the bat. I said, this is pretty cool.
and you mentioned obviously the success. That
What?
your dad had, the success your dad had at MCC.
Yeah.
And covered JUCO for years. So just knowing about it, but you said he'd be your volunteer assistant. How much do you expect to have him out at practice?
I hope we can get him out to practice once a week. Once a week would be cool. And I think he's excited about having a team to follow, and he's been hitting me with a zillion questions about who we're recruiting and how's it going. So anyhow, he's great. He's into it. And I'm glad he's got something to be excited about.
Randy, you mentioned keeping Arizona players in Arizona. What's the blueprint to do that here at ASU?
Great question. Recruit them. Go see them. You got to. Why wouldn't you stay? That's my argument. Why wouldn't you stay here? Play. We have resources here. This place. You can be playing in front of your family and friends. No reason to leave. We just have to get good enough that they feel like they're going to go to the NCAA tournament. Once that happens, and we're able to keep some of the best ones, that's how we get great. Got to get good for yourself.
Talking about retainment, with the 5-5 rule set to be, or people are talking about it with players having an extra year of eligibility, has that changed your recruiting process at all, or some of the guys you brought in, or?
The 5-for-5 has not changed anything we've done yet. We're all still figuring it out, but I'm pretty sure it's going in, and pretty sure how it's going to work as far as this year's seniors won't be eligible for it, but after that, moving forward, they all get a fifth year. So I think we recruited a couple of guys that will be seniors next year. Now all of a sudden they're juniors, like they have 2 years. So I'm excited about it because I think it's easier to get good if you can retain players. So those older guys get an extra year, and they're in your program. It helps, but it's interesting how it works. I think it's a good thing. I think there won't be as many 24, 25-year-olds. But a big reason they're doing it is so they don't have to deal with these waivers all the time. The NCAA. So you get 5 years, play 5 years. If you redshirt a year, it counts as 1 year 5. So it makes it more simple.
you guys good? We've got some donors and people to meet.
Thank you, Coach.
I wanted to tell Coach one thing. We have a
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have a